What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Stiles Files. And yes, the time has come. We've been talking about it. Finally got the man, the myth, the legend out here. What do they call you, big timer or the?
No, they call me a fraud, fraud. How's this guy on air? What is he doing on television?
No, King, the King. They call you.
No,
King
they don't call me that.
King of the
That's
Bay
a
Area.
joke. Yeah, that's a joke. All right.
King of the Bay Area. But we're here with Bonta Hill, host 95.7 The Game, the morning roast, also host post game for the Warriors on NBC Sports Bay Area. Bonta, thank you for coming across the bridge. I know you're a city cat, so thank you for coming to the island.
I mean, I figured I'd just get this out the way early, right? So you won't ask me like a year from now, right? I got my one podcast in with Alan,
exactly,
and I had to pay toll for it.
Exactly,
I'm not getting paid for this, folks.
Well, yeah, you got to pay toll on the way back, but we'll take care of you. We'll get you.
I guess Lola's Chicken or something.
Your sister works there.
Yeah,
so,
well, there you go.
So there you go. But Bonta, man, thank you so much for coming out. You can tell Bonta is king because he comes on my podcast, my show, and he tells me, I say, hey, this is where I want to start. He goes, I don't want to start there. He said he wants to talk about what he wants to talk about, but I do think that we can flip it a little bit. How about that? Just meet me halfway.
Well, he wants the life story.
I do.
Who wants the boring life story here?
If you watch the Stiles Files, listen to the Stiles Files, as we know you do, like and subscribe. We love a good origin story, and yours specifically.
Yeah.
I do think that it is because it's so unique, and we're two guys who did do the JUCO thing, right? For essentially different reasons, kind of, but we both did it, and that taboo that I think was around when we were younger is starting to go away, especially with cost of living and things. Logistically, it just makes more sense. How do you feel about where junior college is now compared to where it used to be, and how important it was in your path to get to where you are?
Well, first of all, it was very important because the brother couldn't afford a four-year university, right?
Yeah.
And it's a great stepping stone place. It's a place where in junior college you could take chances.
Yeah.
And you could figure out who you are. So by the time you do step foot on a campus, a four-year university, been there, done that. Okay, boom, I'm just taking elective classes here, and I'm getting a body there, and those 2 years fly by.
Right.
So JUCO, it had a negative connotation, right? Oh, man, you're at City College in San Francisco. Oh, man, you're at San Mateo. And even for the athletes that I know you were, it's a step down. You're thinking, boy, I got buddies who, they're at SMU or at USC or UCLA, and I'm at a JUCO where there's maybe 50 people watching this game.
Right.
And it's on a weekday, and you're like, man, nobody even knows anything about my school.
Or cares.
You can't get a blip in the main paper in the city. You know how tough it was to get City College San Francisco involved with the Chronicle, let alone the Examiner. And the Examiner took it and ran with it, and we did some great work there. So finally, it doesn't have a negative connotation because of the cost of living, as you mentioned, because of the economy, the state that we're in. And look, you get a lot of kids who maybe come from single-parent homes, whether it's the mom or dad or whatever. You got to do what you got to do. So it's a great experience, and you play top-level sports.
Yeah.
Like the athletics, especially here in California. I've seen some of the best games of my life played at the JUCO level, whether it's hoops, football, or soccer. So I'm glad it doesn't have that negative connotation. It was huge for me. It helped me discover who I was and what path I wanted to take. And so I'm all for JUCO, and I'm glad that a show like Last Chance U kind of gives people the insight of a JUCO.
Yeah, man.
It's a real-world job, man. It's not easy.
It is. No, I think that's well said. And, the whole thing about JUCO to me, same with a lot of things in life. You just got to go in with a plan.
Right.
If you don't go to junior college with a plan, all of the negative things you say about JUCO will come true. But if everybody that I know that have had a plan, JUCO's been a great experience. And, down the road, those GEs, I don't even know if they're going to exist in about 15, 20 years.
No, I never even got one.
Yeah.
I think I did get my AA.
Yeah.
Actually, I did get it, but I never use. I don't even throw it on the resume. And it's not a bad thing. It's just I don't know how many people look at it. Heck, we're in broadcasting. I don't think everybody's ever looked at my diploma from SF State.
No, no. They just look at what you can do, and nowadays it's also what your platform is. So you've been around with KNBR. Now you're with 95.7 The Game. The TV thing pops for you, but in your heart of hearts, you like to write.
Yeah.
You like to write. So now that you have, I guess, moved forward, do you miss writing? Do you still write? Or is it just, hey, that was a moment in time and I'm in a different place in my career now?
Yeah, no, that was my first love. I wanted to be a beat writer. You know, I wanted to be Marcus Thompson II. I wanted to be Anthony Slater.
Right.
I wanted to be the Eric Branches, the Cam Emmons, you name it. And just the way things shook out, now I'm like, you know what? I haven't written an article in damn near 5 years.
Yeah.
You know, and so do I miss it? I love reading long-form journalism. There's nothing better to me.
Right.
You know, when you get into the details of a story, you break a story down. There's nothing better.
Yeah.
Long-form journalism. And I know we just lost Real Sports, and what's the other show on ESPN that's going to be Outside the Lines?
Oh yeah,
they're about to bid adieu to those two shows, which is unfortunate. It's a bummer because you see the other side of sports, and that's what you could write about, right? But radio's so chill. And television is so fun.
Yeah.
I don't ever see myself going back to writing. I don't miss it.
Yeah.
I felt like I pay my dues with it, and kind of what the way the game is going, right? If you're a writer, breaking news, are you getting any of that breaking news? You know, are people even reading now with the with print journalism basically going bye-bye, and you got everything on the digital side of things, and you have to pay for it. You got paywall. So do people want to spend $7, $8, $15, $20 a month just to read your stuff? The viewership, I think, is down all across the board. So I think I made the right decision. I don't miss it. That was my love.
Okay.
But I appreciate reading great articles.
Right.
When we're in the Bay Area, where we got
to write.
Right. I don't get the itch no more, man.
Yeah.
It was tough for me even to write a speech for my best friend at his wedding.
Yeah,
and after a while, I was like, you know what? I'm better if I just go off the cuff like I do on the morning roast. So, I don't miss it as much as I thought I would. I don't miss it at all.
Well, and I do think it's interesting because right now, if you follow along, there's radio Bonta and there's TV Bonta. So now we're getting podcast Bonta. And podcast Bonta, he's kind of a nice combination of both. But, I think one thing that's interesting about somebody like you, and I'm on my way, but you're further along. Really, you talk about paying your dues, right? And all these guys that we see that we grew up with, Wilbon, Kornheiser, all of them, even Skip Bayless, they were all writers. Now we have this new wave and hashtag new media, but honestly, where you don't have to pay your dues. So you were one of the last, I would say, that has gone through this, the more traditional path. You know what I mean? Because somebody like me or whoever, you can just say, hey, I think I'm good at this. And if somebody else thinks I'm good at it, I don't have to write and show you how much I know about sports. I can just talk. So how do you feel about, I guess, new media as a whole, and really just your radio is not new media.
No doubt.
You know what
It's
I mean? So you kind of float in the middle a little bit.
It's kind of evolved with the times, right? But so I guess one part you just asked, how do I feel about guys who they got to get the gab, right? And they cut through all the corner. I work with Joe Shasky, the butcher. Yeah. My guy. I can't see myself doing radio with anybody else other than the morning roast with Joe Shasky. He brings out the best in me. Yeah. Hopefully I bring out the best in him. He was a traditional caller. He was a caller who, hey, got a spot to talk. Get it how you live. I can't knock that hustle. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right place, right time, and he took advantage of the opportunity. Yeah. See, a lot of people don't give him credit for that because they're saying, oh, man, you're just a caller, blah, blah, blah. Same thing with you, right? Yeah. Oh, you won a lucky chance. But when you get that opportunity, what do you do with it? Shasky's taking it. He's ran with it. Right. You're taking it. You're running with it. So I don't show any ill will. That path that I took was basically a choice. One, I didn't know too many people in the industry, if not any. Yeah. I kind of just threw a Hail Mary and said, you know what? I'm going to get into this because I know about this and I love it. So I started from the bottom, but for me, I needed to do that to satisfy myself. Yeah. Just any insecurities I had about growing up or kind of being behind an A-ball coming out of high school. I was like, I want to do it this way. I want to go back to the JUCO. I'm going to write on a school paper. I'm going to grind my way up. I'm going to cover these high school sports, and I know it's nothing right now. It's getting paid like $15, $20 an article. Right. Whatever. It's the byline. It's the experience. Just keep stacking, right? We hear NFL and NBA teams, stack wins, stack wins, stack wins. Right. Those are little wins for me. Yeah. Every little article, every little game, every little event. And so for me personally, it had to happen like this. I had to go about my business the hard way and do the graveyard shifts or whatnot. So it was fulfilling for me, self-fulfilling for me. I made the most of it, but also I don't knock anybody who could just pop on because you got to be entertaining. Yeah, you got to have an it factor. Anybody could pop on the microphone and start talking sports.
Well, anybody does now.
Right, anybody does. Yeah, everybody does. Right, everybody's got a platform now, but I don't knock anybody who didn't have to go down that rigorous road that I had to go down. So if you made it to this point, if you're in here competing with the big boys and you're getting opportunities, well, are you taking advantage of that opportunity? Because I've seen a lot of guys have opportunities that failed, that just struck out swinging. You know what I'm saying?
Right. No, I think that's a really interesting way to put it, because this whole career path, which is where you see people drop in and drop off, is because there is no clear road, right? If you are in sales or whatever, hey, you got to hit these numbers and then you get promoted. Or even just anywhere in corporate or non-corporate, if you do certain things, eventually you're going to get a spot. You never know when your time is going to get called on. And I've had on my buddy, Evan Giddings on this show as well. And we talk about doing the fill-in thing. And it's just like, hey, you never know when something's going to happen. But it's also hard. It's also hard because you don't know what you're waiting for. You know what I mean?
It's so hard to crack into the rotation. When I first started, I wasn't in that rotation. Until Marty Larry from over at KBR, that's my guy, Uncle Marty, turn on the microphone, talk, because those opportunities wasn't coming around. You're going with the same rotation, and you're thinking, boy, I got a podcast. I had like 3 different podcasts. It's like, what are we doing here?
And then you got the podcast, and you don't even want to look at the numbers because you're like, I don't know who's listening to this.
50 people clicking on it. You're posting it on Facebook. You're getting 4 likes. 2 of them's from your mom and dad.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? What is really going on here? So the fact that you guys are in the rotation, that's the biggest step, getting your foot in the door. Once you're getting your foot in the door, then it's don't say anything stupid. Don't do anything to get yourself fired. Don't do anything to get yourself canceled. And you're going to be in a mix. Somehow, some way, things are going to fall into place for you. So patience is the biggest thing. You've got patience. I've had patience. Shasky, Evan Giddings, he's got patience. And while also doing other things. Don't just sit here and say, hey, I'm on the come up. I got these fill-in roles. Well, you better be podcasting too. Evan's doing play-by-play as well. So
you ain't here for no reason.
Exactly. And so that's what I was doing, Alan. I want to write, but also want to do some radio stuff. And who knows where it goes now. The TV thing, I still don't know what NBC is thinking on now.
You led me right to it, because now let's transition into TV, Bonta. And, you talk about, my whole thing is, just taking off the official interview hat for a while. Are there times where you wake up or you get ready to go in for a show, and we're Warriors, we're right around the corner from it starting? Are there times you wake up, and I don't know if it's the term imposter syndrome, but are there times you wake up and you just think, how the heck did I pull this off?
I mean, sometimes, I mean, it's, you got that quick turnaround, right? Game's over. Everybody's buzzing. Twitter's flowing. People are coming with the hot takes. And you're like, man, it's the talk of the town. And then you get to set the tone the next day. And you're like, how am I pulling this off? How did I get so lucky? How did I get so blessed because of what we just talked about, that junior college road, where you're working all types of the night. You're working weekends. You don't have any... It's not uncommon to have a 21-day stretch where you're working and you didn't have a day off. That's very common, especially at the junior college ranks. So I kind of take it back to that. I was like, it's no different. I'm just getting paid a little more, and I'm doing it on the biggest of biggest platforms. And if Alan Stiles was in my shoes, if anybody else was in my shoes, would they do what I do?
Sure.
Absolutely. You're not saying no to that opportunity, and you figure out the rest. You say yes, you do what you got to do. You try to perform at a high level. You try to get good ratings. You try to be likable, and you figure out the rest later. You figure out the sleep patterns. You figure out the eating patterns. You work it out with your partner. Hey, how are we going to do this with the kid? Or whatnot. But, I would have been silly to be like, you know what, man, it's too hard, man. Now, you know what's hard? A single mom who's 21 years old with a kid and no money. You know what's hard is going to those JUCOs knowing that, you know what? I got $30 to my name this week. 3 of the nights is going to be a top ramen night. The other 2 are going to be Taco Bell nights. You're eating like crap. That's hard. While trying to do a final or essays or getting 16 to 20 units in a semester, that's the hard work. Me, I'm like, if long as I get 6 hours of sleep, I'm talking Warriors. We're going to do that anyway. We do that in our own time. So that's when I go back to say, you know what? I'm fortunate. I'm blessed. And how do I do it? Well, there's a will, there's a way. I've been through harder things in life. This part is easy. Oh, great. I get to wake up and yell into the mic, oh, baby, and let's go Warriors. And I talk to Shasky and a bunch of callers and a great audience for 4 hours, and then I go home, sleep. Then I get to do it with a Hall of Famer and an NBA champ, a couple NBA champs, and a great staff at NBC. So it's it really makes it easy.
Yeah, man. No, and when you put it in perspective like that, I think now everybody understands how you do what you do. Because on the outside looking in, I mean, I sat there myself, and everybody, not everybody, but most people know you do have a young daughter, right? We're both girl dads here. I'm still new to the game.
You love it,
but you're thinking, man. So Bonta does the 7 o'clock tip, right? You do the pregame, then the game happens. You do postgame, and then you have the first show of the morning at 6 a.m. How does Bonta do it? And, and I don't even know, I forget what rapper said it, but I used to pray for times like this. You know what I mean? And if younger Bonta or if younger Allen.
Bill? I don't know.
Probably.
I'm not, don't quote me, I'm terrible with music.
And if younger Bonta saw you, and for the 1 second or the 1 second for me where it's just, hey, I'm too tired for this. You know what I mean? And you think, dude, you sound ridiculous. This is what you wanted. This is what you wanted.
I mean... Seriously, I sat back and everything happened in a blur, right? Baby Chaz was born on December 4th. Thankfully, that was the NBA season. I started 2 days before Christmas. She was due December 18th.
Dang.
I was praying, hey, just come early. Because she comes out December 18th, new baby. 3 days later, we're hosting a pregame show. I don't know if I would have been able to handle that.
Well, would that have been your first year?
First year.
Wow.
On top of doing mornings on the road. So then... But everything happened where, all right, Baby Chaz is here, season's here, I'm doing the mornings. It was just a blur. Boom, 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 boom. I didn't have really time to comprehend what I was really doing, right? You didn't really have time to think about, what if I mess this up? Or, boy, this is a big opportunity. Everybody in Bay is watching. What if I whiff? What if I just can't speak? What if I lose one? So you don't really think about those negative thoughts. You're like, hey, man, it's go time. And then, boom, you're done with that job, and it's, wait, job number 2. Be a girl dad. All right, be a girl dad, put her to bed, or wait, go to sleep. Job number 3, it's the morning road. You know what I'm saying? So it just became a rotation. So I didn't really have time to think about how hard that task was going to be. But you're right. Younger Bonta would have been like, yo, you got to go take this. What's hard is I worked at UPS, right? A younger Bonta, unloading 54-foot trailers from 11 at night till 3 in the morning. And then running in straight wind in South City where it's cold as heck at 3 in the morning, trying to catch that 3:30 Samtran bus to get back into the city. Man. That's the hard work. This, I get to go to sleep off the Warriors, wake up full of thoughts. Let's go. It's younger Bonta would have been like, dude, you got to take this, right? I mean, I would have been a fool to say, hey, no, man, this is going to be too hard. Instead, it's, how do we figure it out? And that's a message for young journalists and broadcasters. Everything's not going to work out in your favor, right? But never say, I can't. Just, okay, this is the situation. How do I overcome it?
And I guess piggybacking off of that, and again, we're talking to our guy, Bonta Hill, on the Stiles Files, king of the Bay Area media. I'm coming for him, but he's king
Bougie
right
Bonta.
now.
Bougie
Bonta, podcast Bonta right now, NBC Sports Bay Area. Golden State Warriors host, and also host of the Morning Roast on 95.7 The Game. So, one thing that I guess we never really think about, right? So somebody like me or younger Bonta, when you're on the come up, you always have that North Star, right? My North Star is one day I hope to be doing things similar to you, right? So once you get there, how does your mindset change? Or is it do you just kind of, is it a lot of just, hey, I just need to make sure I do my job and make sure that I keep it? Or once you've kind of accomplished what your goal was, not, I guess, what motivates you, because we know what motivates you, but how does your mindset change? Because, you've never been in that position. It's always been, well, I want to do this and I'm working to do this. Then one day you have it, right? So how do you, I guess, how does your mindset change, and how do you go about just being appreciative, but also not getting complacent?
Yeah, well, realize we're in the Bay, right? It's a heck of a question, because it's something that we all battle through, right? First of all, you try to treat people the same, right? Which is what I've tried to do from day one. When I started as a journalist at City College San Francisco, we were talking to the janitor for like 30 minutes, and I said, if I ever make it, it's a true story, if I ever make it, I'm going to treat people the same way, every step of the way. So a good litmus test is going to Chase Center, right? My guys, Ramon and Imani and the rest of the ushers and the crew, the entire crew there that you see run on the court, or you see protected Chase Center, I've been the same towards them my entire time. And when I first met them, I was giving out stickers, bumper stickers, behind the desk on the second floor or the main concourse at Oracle Arena.
Yeah.
So I said, never change, right? So you're trying to never change. You treat people the same way you would as a producer, right? Two, it's easy to not get complacent because being on this bigger platform, more eyes are watching.
Right.
And so it's like, I got to be on my game.
Yeah.
And you think about the Warrior season, for example, I'm throwing television out there, knowing that, boy, all eyes are on us getting ready for this Warrior-Laker game or Warrior-Kings game or Warrior-Knicks game, whoever they're playing, right?
Yeah.
All eyes are going to be on that. Even on the radio side, people are listening to 605. What's this dude talking about? Is he tired?
Yeah.
Am I wasting my commute when listening to this guy?
Because it's all on Front Street, right? They know you just woke up not too long ago.
Exactly. So Twitter's there, social media's there. People are commenting left and right, and people want a job. People would die to be the host. In that essence, I hold the seat. That is in such high demand, right?
Right.
People will love to be the host of that. And I get that. People love to host a morning show job. I've seen the morning show flip here and there, but I look at a guy like Dan Dibley who's been here for 30 years in the business. How did he survive?
Yeah.
So you take a little bit of that, and it helps you remain hungry. And remaining hungry for me is got to be the best that you can be, every single night, because a young Alan Stiles is watching.
Right.
A young Alan Stiles does want my job.
Right.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
You should want my job.
It's a circle of life.
Yeah, you should want my job.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of Shaskies out there who want my job. It's like, I can do better than them. So that's what keeps you hungry. It's like, do I want to be a failure? When it's at the end of the day, oh man, Bonta's run on the morning roast, man, them boys stunk. Nah, I want them to say that, hey, man, they flip morning radio in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
So there's a pride factor. You want to be the best that you can be in all aspects of life, whether it's Connect Four, playing Monopoly, doing this on TV. So that's what keeps you hungry.
Yeah.
Is knowing that there's a lot more eyes watching now. And they want to see.
Right.
Does this guy belong in that spot? Does he deserve to be in that spot? And by the end of the tenure, that's not even a question no more, right? You want them to be saying, hey, man, I like what you did here. I like what you did there. So it's easy to stay hungry in this position, to be honest with you.
Yeah. No, I mean, when you know the competition, I mean, look, it's no secret.
Right.
In the Bay Area, you have, specifically the Bay Area, so we're not counting Sacramento, you have 2 radio stations.
Right.
And you have NBC Sports Bay Area, right? You have local TV, but a lot of the local TV, they don't really, the analysts, a lot of times that they pull in, they're looking for somebody who used to play, like a Lorenzo Neal or somebody like that. They don't just have analysts. The local TV doesn't have ESPN type setups where somebody's just going to come in. They might come in like I've come in on Cron before, something like that, but they're not going to sign a contract for that. Doubt. You know what I mean?
Be freelance. Yeah.
Really, there's one situation that everybody is looking at. You know what I mean? So you yourself, hey, if I slip up, there are a million people waiting, and that's just people that live in the Bay Area.
Right.
How many people, when we talk about this market, would move to the Bay Area?
Right.
You know what I mean? To do whatever, they could run whatever South Dakota, Idaho they want.
They'll be here in a heartbeat.
They were in a heartbeat.
Yeah,
they wouldn't
doubt.
hey, we'll sell the house when we sell the house.
No
So
doubt.
man, no, I think that's it's a really good way to look at it, and you can get complacent and feel like we make jokes about bougie Bonta, but the thing and TV Bonta, but the thing is, if you ever actually behaved like that, that starts to become your downfall.
No doubt.
You know what I mean?
And that's the thing. You can't. Even when we get callers at the radio station, right? I try not to talk down to them whatsoever. I've heard a lot of hosts in the history of radio. You try to talk to these people, say, "Oh, that." I try to respect all the audience because what they're doing is spending time listening to me and my insight, which may not be accurate 50% of the time, right?
We're gonna get into Brock Purdy a little bit later here.
But no, seriously, if they're spending time to listen to me, the least I can do is pay them some respect and pay them some mind here. And so when you talk about complacency and the way you treat people and being in this position that a lot of people will want to be in, that hunger has to remain. Heck, you may even have to work harder.
Right.
I find myself, all these shows during the fall, the Powers, the All-Americans, the Shy. All these shows are put on pause.
Right.
Because it's like, I need to watch this game over. I need to do some more digging on this team. I need to have them. Like, when I go into a show, I want to have more data that I don't even get to. That's the whole goal. It's like, dang, I didn't get to that, that, and the other. Same thing for television as well. You got all this data where the listener, the audience, the people who are starving for content or starving for data with their teams, you got it all for them. So preparing extra hard, man. That's the thing. Shout out to my girl, Anna. She does a great job of helping me by helping out with baby Ches, doing a little more. Her grandparents doing a little more to allow me to continue to work both these gigs, but it also requires some extra time too, prep. You know, it just don't happen overnight. It's like, okay, I need to read this. You got to read every article that was published. You got to read the other team's articles. What are the other teams done the last 10 games? What are some of the data here and all that stuff? So the more you grow into this business, the harder you got to work, which is crazy, right?
Yeah.
So anybody who thinks that, oh man, you know, the Stephen A. Smiths, they're complacent. Nah, they work even harder.
Exactly.
They let this stuff consume them. Now you got to have some work-life balance, but the work gets harder, man, the more you want to stay on top or the more you want to be in these spots.
Yeah, no, I mean, and obviously it's fun work, but it's still work. You know what I mean? You're not just at a bar watching the game and then different. You just let me just shoot from the hip when I get on the show. That's not how this works.
Think about it. It's different for you now watching games, right?
It definitely is.
And you got to watch them by yourself, and you're taking little notes.
Exactly.
And you're like,
I got to record it, and I got to run back, and especially having the little one because, you know, she starts crying now. I got to rewind and make sure, okay, it's not, wow, McCaffrey just busted, McCaffrey just busted that run. Now it's, wow, look at that block by IU when I didn't have to care about any of that.
No doubt.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's good work, but it's still work. Once again, here with Bonta Hill, pre and post for NBC Sports Bay Area for the Warriors, host of the Morning Roast, girl dad, king of the Bay Area media. He's got the crown right now, and that's why we got him. No, that's why we got him. And, you know, I did want to say, with great power, not only comes great responsibility, but also great criticism. So I talked to Carlos on the last episode a little bit about this, and he even mentioned, hey, I get it. Laura Britt gets it. Bonta gets it. When you see hate, whether it's on our beloved text line or the YouTube chat or on Twitter, wherever it is, how is it ever often that you, not that it bugs you or that it matters, but are there any times where someone says something and you think, all right, that was a good one, or you got me on that one?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It happens every day.
Yeah.
Back in your head, you see something like, I'm not going to read that. That guy's funny, man. He's good with those Twitter fingers. Those text fingers or whatnot. But it's like some of you guys got too much time in your hands, man. You know everything about our lives.
Yeah, man.
One thing's all living. Don't bring my family into it.
Sure.
Talk about me all you want to. And even then, I may clap at you and bring you up on there.
I've done some shows with you because I never responded to YouTube or the text line.
Oh, I do.
And we were doing a show, and I'm like, oh, Bonta's like getting in here. So I'm like, okay,
don't make it a habit.
No,
don't make it a habit. No,
Matt might be watching. Not too much.
Don't make it a habit. And even now, I got to take a step back. But sometimes our regulars, they're our regulars, our P1s, And I'm like, y'all need to chill today. Y'all are tripping. And it's crazy because Trey Lance did not look like an NFL quarterback after the Raider game.
No.
And Shasky and I are well known for having a video after his third practice of his career.
I've seen this video.
Yeah, and I've seen it over and over. Now people like to tag me in it even more so. But I came out on that Monday saying Trey Lance did not look like a quarterback who was ready to play an NFL game. And people's like, oh, man, he sold out to the Niners. Oh, man, he was about to get some dollars from the Niners.
Business.
He's selling out business,
You're carrying water for the Niners.
And so, like, part of my charm is I like to keep it a buck. I like to keep it real. And then on the flip side, you're not gonna like everything I've said. So some people hate the truth, especially about their favorite players, because for some reason we've become such a player stand driven society where it's like, if my guy don't win, then nobody wins, or I'm gonna root against this guy because this guy is in front of my guy. Like, it's silly stuff, right? With some of these sports fans. So I had to admit, Trey Lance wasn't it. And Brock is. And you know what? Brock being there against Tampa Bay when he's lighting it up with Tom Brady watching him from the sideline, I'm saying, uh-oh, we have something here. So I don't know if he's going to be the quarterback for the next 5 years. But I was dead wrong on Brock Purdy. And I'll be the first to admit it. This guy's got something, man. He's not going to rifle the balls like a Josh Allen. He's not going to throw it deep like Mahomes. But he does what you need to get done to win a football game.
Yeah, and I think that depending on when you're watching this, the game was yesterday. And I think that the good part about yesterday was seeing Kenny Pickett, because both of us, and that's the other thing. The whole Trey Lance, I know you probably are in the same camp as me. I was happy when he got traded because I was tired of some of the coded language and people saying, well, you said this, or just assuming that I felt a certain way when I'm like, dude, first of all, I'm not even on the air that much.
Right.
Second of all, I never actually said any of that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's almost as if they had an idea of, hey, because I'm just gonna say it, because you're black, you must feel this way.
Well, it's the dangerous part of our business, right? A lot of people like to put words in your mouth.
Exactly.
Like, I'll stand on this. I've never said to fire Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah.
I said his seat might be getting warm, but never in a million years did I ever say Shanahan should be fired. My thing is this. A lot of people compare Shanahan to Bill Walsh. Well, you know what that means? That means 3 Super Bowl championships and the architect of a dynasty.
Right.
So let's be cool off who we're comparing.
Yeah.
Let Kyle Shanahan be Kyle Shanahan.
Exactly.
And he's done a great job entering year 7. Have they come up short? For sure. But boy, 3 of the last 4 years have been very memorable if you're a 49er fan. So that's the one thing, man. They put things in. They remember everything. That's the one thing about our roasters, our listeners, the 95.7 again.
Yeah.
These people remember stuff I said 6 years ago.
Yeah.
I meet them in person. They be like, remember that time you said this? I'm like, I don't remember what I said 2 hours ago, let alone 2 years ago or 3 years ago. So that's the one thing about radio, man. We got diehard listeners.
Yeah.
I love the fans of radio, and they will remember everything you said. So trust me, I'm wearing the Trey Lance stuff.
Right.
And I was happy that he got traded, but at the same time, I'm thinking to myself, when is he going to play?
I honestly don't think he plays with Dallas. I think he's going to go to one. Dallas is going to move him. He's still got a little bit of hype around him, a small bit at this point, and he'll get an opportunity somewhere. But I mean, think about it. Jerry, something has gone wrong if he gets a chance. Right. Like something has gone very wrong. Yeah. Because before, if Dak messes up or injured or whatever, then you got Cooper Rush.
Yep.
So I think Jerry just ate the 4th round pick just to light a fire under Dak.
Maybe.
I honestly think. I mean, now was it smart? I don't know, but it's Jerry.
And maybe he gets some intel about the 49ers.
Right.
Maybe he's going to pick Trey's brain about that. I think I think the Atlanta Falcons are going to have a quarterback situation. I would love to see Trey at that offense with Bijan Robinson, Drake London, Kyle Pitts. An offense like that, a quarterback-friendly system. Arthur Smith is a good coach. Yeah. I would like to see Trey in LA. He just needs to play.
I was surprised, and I thought that honestly was a bad look for how Trey is viewed in the league when the 2 teams that were interested in Trey were 2 places where he wouldn't play.
Well, I know.
The Bills and Dallas. So I thought, okay, so teams are willing to take a flyer and maybe he can save our season, but we're not willing to, if we have a young guy. And think about it. Here's the issue with Trey. The issue is every year, I mean, look at all the guys, Anthony Richardson, C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young, and this coming year is supposed to be the quarterback draft, not last year. So you're like, players are like, specifically in the NFL, they're cars. You drive it off the lot, even if you've barely driven it, he's lost value. So I don't know. I think he's going to get a spot somewhere at some point. I don't think it's going to be in Dallas.
He may have to play in the CFL. I said this a
and
few weeks ago.
And for this. I think I roasted you for this.
Right, you did. But you know what, though? It wasn't about the CFL. It's just about getting reps.
Yeah.
You got to throw the football. You need to see live bullets somehow, some way. You need to develop pocket presence.
JUCO. He needs to go JUCO.
JUCO route. Can he go to, hey, City College San Francisco? Or that's someone else. They may not need a quarterback. Maybe Laney or something. Or DVC needs a quarterback. Trey, go back to JUCO. Go to Independence Kansas. Go to Mississippi with the first last chance U team. I don't know. He needs to play. Play. So, that was but how good are the Niners to be able to abort mission, say, you know what, we whiffed. We whiffed hard, but you know what, we're still in a position to make big things happen in 2023, and they came out like gangbusters, man. This team is still top heavy. So the fact that they're able to commit this big of a blunder in the NFL draft at the quarterback spot and still be good, wow.
Well, and I think that's why they were so excited. They just wanted to get to the season because they felt, hey, all this noise and all this chatter is all going to go away once we just start playing football games. And that's how it is in the NFL and really in life. If you produce, nobody is talking about Trey anymore. Nobody is talking, even on the radio. As soon as Trey got moved, we did maybe a week. But after
he's
that,
not existed in the Bay now.
And we wouldn't have even done a week if it wasn't the off season. If the season started, we wouldn't even talked about it at all.
Exactly. And why waste air on Trey Lance now? He's a great kid. But he's in Dallas now.
Yeah.
We got a great story here with Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
Brock Purdy was to ever win the Super Bowl, being the last pick of the NFL draft. It would be one of the greatest stories in North American sports history. When we think about why Tom Brady, I think we forget Tom Brady became so big, but we forget He was a 6th-round pick.
Yeah.
That's an amazing story to win 3 and 4, and then all of a sudden you take Drew Bledsoe's job off an injury. So, like, this whole thing, too, with Trey Lance, you can't lose your job to an injury.
Right.
We've seen Alex Smith do it. We saw Drew Bledsoe do it. We saw Tony Romo do it to Dak Prescott. Hell, going back to the early 90s, Alan, Don Bukowski was the magic man. Had a big win against Joe Montana and the Niners one year. All the hype in Green Bay. He gets hurt. Brett Favre comes along. The rest is history.
Yeah.
So we've seen this play out over and over and over again in the NFL. So Brock Purdy, they found lightning in a bottle, and this guy's got total command of the offense.
Yeah.
And so you're able to withstand a loss like Trey Lance. And so we shouldn't even – Trey Lance is yesteryear. It's almost like James Wiseman, right? We'll talk about James Wiseman twice a year. When he comes to town with the Pistons or when the Warriors go to Motown.
Yeah.
Pretty soon Jordan Poole's going to be like that. Where the first half of the season we'll be watching Poole. He comes out here, we'll be talking about Poole. But over time, you stop talking about them.
Right.
And that's the same thing with Trey Lance. We shouldn't waste a second on Trey Lance this football season.
No, and look, we thank you for the content, Niners, because we needed it during the offseason.
We surely did.
But, the soap opera right now is over. But I do think that the issue is for how good the Niners look, because you almost got to the mountaintop with Jimmy, it makes it tough because that's what people are expecting. So you can feel good about this, but everybody just wants to fast forward and say, are you going to do it this year or not?
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean?
And you can still enjoy the ride, but they've already mentioned that.
Yeah.
Eric Armstead has mentioned that. Bosa has mentioned that. Fred Warner's mentioned that. Shanahan and Lynch, they have mentioned it. We know what time it is.
Right. Well, you know what? Real quick, because it's funny you say that, because there are people that'll say, I'm not Super Bowl or bust. Why wouldn't a fan be Super Bowl or bust when the team is Super Bowl or bust? Do you think the team after a season thinks, hey, we had a good season? Maybe the owners because we made a bunch of money, but the team, they're Super Bowl or bust. So why would a fan? You don't have to be logical as a fan. No, it was still good. You can still say I enjoyed the season, but I am upset that they didn't get it done. So why wouldn't you be Super Bowl or bust?
My thing is this: if you're a fan. We take the Warriors. The Warriors have basically been, since 2014-15, championship or bust.
Right.
And I ask Warrior fans, how cool is that?
Yeah.
How cool is that? That when we're talking NBA Finals, and we're talking favorites in the Western Conference, it's been the Warriors, the Rockets, OKC for a little bit, maybe the Clippers, even though they were paper champs.
Right.
But it's basically been the Warriors. Anything short of an NBA championship is a disappointment.
Right.
So why not embrace it with the 49ers? The fact that we're in the championship conversation. You could be, I don't know, the Houston Texans and you're rebuilding. You could be the Arizona Cardinals and you're thinking to yourself, boy, we're going to get the #1 pick and still not be able to get Caleb Williams because he doesn't want to come here.
Right.
Or you could be the Minnesota Vikings where you're the Atlanta Hawks of the NFL.
Yes.
Where, you may win 9 games.
You're not scaring nobody.
You're not scaring anybody.
Yeah.
Would you want to be a fan of that? Or would you want a team that's saying, hey, I know during the regular season, we're to be favored in damn near every single game.
Yeah.
We got talent all across the board, premium players, and anything short of a Super Bowl ultimately is a disappointment.
Right.
Why wouldn't you want that mindset?
I don't know.
This is the coolest thing. We're in the championship conversation.
Yeah.
It's 3 teams they talk about: Philly, Dallas, and the 49ers. I don't get why, oh my God, don't say Super Bowl or bust. Hey, we don't have to say it.
Right.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
We're going to enjoy the ride, but just know at the end of the year, we're looking at the stats. We're looking at the standings. Okay, are the 49ers in Las Vegas? Are they playing an AFC opponent?
Right.
Are their players playing in the Pro Bowl? Because if they're not playing in the Pro Bowl, that means you're in the Super Bowl.
Right.
You're playing for Big Six. That's all the season is about. But we can still have fun watching it. And watching them in the season opener was a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to think, boy, Devo's in great shape. Christian McCaffrey's here. George Kittle and Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah.
And you got a quarterback who knows how to deliver the ball on time. What's not to like to go along with this ferocious defense? You can have fun.
Yeah.
But the whole, don't say Super Bowl or bust. Hey, what do you want, Capri Suns or fruit snacks?
Right. Well, and I think you hit the nail on the head. Just because you're Super Bowl or bust doesn't mean you're not enjoying the ride.
Right. You can
know,
enjoy it.
But we've seen this movie before, and we just wanted to end a different way.
Right, that's all.
And that's all. So, Bonta, this has been great. Before I get you out of here, we got to talk Warriors.
Oh, okay.
So,
Man.
we'll keep it short.
Media Day, October 2nd.
Exactly. There you go. Well, so any ideas or have you gotten any information Stiles Files exclusive on the promos. They always got you doing. They kind of get you looking crazy on some of these promos. And we know, look, Bonta, what do you go 6'4",
6'4",
6'4", but he doesn't hoop, and he owns the fact that he doesn't hoop. But you're gonna let them keep clowning you. This is year 3 now.
Year 4 coming
year
up.
Year 4 now. You
Time
can't be
flies.
getting clowned like this no more.
Hey man, you got to do what's best for show business, right? People like it.
You just wear the hat.
I swear, walking into Chase Center with people stopping me saying, Bonta, man, I could teach you with your jump shot, man. There's a lot of people who thought that was really me hooping. That shows you the commercials are working, the promos are working. So I got to worry about the fit for the promos.
Okay.
But they haven't really given me anything because they know I have a big mouth. So you know, we can't let the entire Bay Area know right now.
Exactly. Okay, fair enough. So on the court, I have a bet with Willard. I don't know if you heard about this. I have a bet with Willard. I have to pay him dinner, or he's got to buy my dinner if I win. I got to buy his dinner if he wins, about Chris Paul starting.
Oh, boy.
I feel very good about my bet, specifically because...
You have Chris Paul starting?
I have Chris Paul starting, and they play the Suns, and now Mark Spears or somebody came out saying it's expected that he will start. Obviously, the Jordan Poole, Draymond thing, we knew something was going to happen. I kind of knew that Jordan Poole would get moved. Did I think it would be for CP3? No.
Nobody.
You get CP3. Yeah. You've had Clay. Steph, the summer of Steph was great. And Steph has been pretty open. They're all pretty open about they want one more. They want one more. You got the Suns. You got the Nuggets. You got the Lakers. How do you feel about the team?
Should we throw the Kings some love? Because you know Kings fans are watching.
Oh yeah. Got to throw the Kings some love.
Sorry about Christmas Day, man.
Hey, well, look.
It is what it is.
You gotta just keep grinding. Keep grinding. Just keep grinding.
Baby steps.
Baby steps.
I love you, Sacramento. You know I do. That was for Kitty Caraway.
There you go. And so, what do you think about the Warriors? Do they got one more in them?
They do. This league is wide open, right? Denver losing Bruce Brown. I think it's going to be an underrated loss. Now, a lot of people are talking up Peyton Watson from UCLA, so we'll see about that. Christian Braun will get better. Nuggets are going to be a problem. Lakers, on paper, they got a stacked roster. Health is the issue, right? Where's Sacramento going to go? Are they going to improve? Are they going to regress? I mean, they won 48 games last year. It was a 3 seed. Warriors were, let's face it, lackluster last season and won 44 games. So if they're able to flip that switch and maybe find some good youthful minutes from Jonathan Kuminga and Moses Moody, who I think can take that year 3 leap and really contribute to this team, the Warriors are right there. Nobody wants to play the Warriors. Like, they were not a connected basketball team, and they've all admitted that, basically. They took the Lakers to 6. Now, it wasn't they got blown out twice at Crypto.com Arena, but this team, if Chris Paul buys in, and whether or not he comes off the bench, I think the more pertinent question is who's going to finish the game.
Well, you can't have, and Steph has gotten a lot better defensively. And we know Jordan Poole was was not great defensively, but I'll just be respectful. But you can't have 2 guys in Steph and Chris Paul where they're still getting targeted.
Yeah, no doubt.
You can't have 2 guys that we want them in the game.
So who's going to finish the game? Who's not going to finish? Will anybody be unhappy about that? That's something that's got to work itself out because it's going to be an adjustment. Especially if it's Chris Paul, it's an adjustment for him. He's not used to that. He's a Hall of Famer who, 1, hasn't come off the bench, and 2, last 5 minutes of a basketball game, he's used to having the ball in his hands, setting up the offense. So that's something to look at. But if the Warriors buy in, I do think Kuminga takes a step with Chris Paul. I love the Dario Saric move.
And we haven't really talked about that as much as we probably should.
And Wiggins is going to play 70 to 75 games. You got to bank on that. He's basically done that his entire career. Last year being an anomaly. Kevon Looney's one of the most serviceable bigs in the league. I love Loon Dog. And Klay Thompson, as much slander as he's gotten this summer, we kind of forget he led the league in 3-point makes. He looks like he's in better shape.
And he had the highest scoring month of his career while Steph was out.
And then in March, he had the 3rd highest scoring month of his career. So I like where the Warriors are at now. Of course, they're an older team. Who do they send on back-to-backs? It's a lot of variables here, but on paper, they look good.
Yeah. I mean, I'm excited for it. If they don't get one, we're sitting here talking about the Niners and Super Bowl or bust because the Niners, I mean, the last time they got one, I was 5 years old, or something like that. So that's a little bit different. When it comes to the Warriors, You hope they get one more because I am petty and having one more than LeBron for Steph
would be cool,
nice.
right?
It would be nice. If they don't get it, man, it was a heck of a ride.
Just give us, go down swinging, give us some good rides in the playoffs. Let me see them in another Western Conference final.
Right.
Let me see them, in a high-stakes series again. So if they got 5, oh, my gosh, that'd be the cherry on top.
Right.
That'd be the cherry on top. You could blow it all up after that. I'm happy with 5. But if they compete and get close and close and close and play competitive basketball and have fun again, that's the biggest thing. They didn't have fun last year. The whole playing with joy, there wasn't a lot of joy last season for whatever reason. So I expect them to get back to that and have a really good season. And look, it's going to start off on the road. 7 of the first 9 on the road. We're going to find out right away who the Golden State Warriors are this season.
Real quick. Well, there you have it, folks. And that's why Bonta is that dude right there, right now, and for the foreseeable future. Bonta, thank you so much, man, for joining. I hope to maybe fill in with you. I don't know if Shassy's got any plans fired up, but
you could reimburse me for toll.
No,
the voice broke right now.
I'll Venmo you.
You got here in the island, man.
Yeah,
Alameda, stand up.
You see what it is. But Bonta, thank you so much, man. Look, and I don't need to. Now that I think about it, before I let you go, you're talking about toll. You got TV money. I'm sorry, you good here?
Not the all season,
no,
man.
I'm sorry. We
I'm
good.
hurt.
You talk about
I'm
media
scrambling.
day. No, you throw
basketball.
Me.
Hurry up.
You throw me some money.
I need to cut basketball. I can't even afford a haircut right now.
I'm out here on the ferry. You can hook me up with this Clipper card. But no, thanks so much, Bonta. Anytime you want to come back to the island, you know where to find me.
Absolutely.
We can go get Lolas.
Yeah, let's go get some Lolas. I'm with that.
There you go.
Soda diet, though. I'm on SOTAweightloss.com.
Gotta plug it. Thanks so much for listening, watching the Stiles Files. Like and subscribe. And until next time, be safe, be well, be wise. Peace.